Just when I was contemplating to switch to the S26 series, Pixel hits me with one of the best pixel drops ever. I hate y'all. What's up, friends? We just recently got a new pixel drop for March 2026, and there's a lot of new things that I think nobody was expecting, including myself. We did happen to get a little bit of customization, which is pretty big on the pixel side of things. So in today's video, I did want to go over my top 5 favorite features, just to let you guys know what's new with Pixel, in case you haven't seen it, and or if you're just curious. Now, things to note, there is a lot more things that were mentioned in the Pixel update. There's a lot of refinements here and there, but I am just going to go over the top 5 things that are noticeable and definitely make a change and impact in your day-to-day life if you choose to use them. So number 1, this one's definitely one of my most favorite features out of the whole group of new things on the Pixel drop. It is definitely the customization of AI icons. So for pixels, we don't really typically get much customization besides the colors that you can do on the icons. Recently, we got the shapes back, which I definitely abused for all of the winter holidays. And now we have AI icons, which means you can generate icons based off of the description that you give it. Now, this is still early, so it definitely gives you only a few options. And right now it lets you only choose between light and dark. Like, you don't have full customization. I definitely think they're kind of beta testing this right now so they don't go crazy, but it works great. It is fantastic. On my phone, I did like the cookie theme, which works amazingly with my girl's background photo, and then we have the icons that are kind of cookie themed anyways, so it looks good. It adapts to each icon fantastically. There's a couple funny ones where, like, there's a fire icon. There's a couple funny ones where there's like a fire icon and it turned it into a cupcake. So it's pretty creative and it's fun to see. I've seen other people's versions online as well, some under the sea themes, and definitely hopefully more to come. This one's definitely a huge win for Pixel users because we don't really get much customization like how Samsung has their theme icons, and OnePlus and other OEMs kind of have a little bit more customization on that side. So knowing that that's kind of baked into Pixel, maybe it'll come maybe down the road to more Androids as well, like Motorola. That'd be kind of cool as well. But maybe it's just a Pixel drop, so I digress. Maybe it's just for Pixel users and maybe we can just have something for once. But definitely this is such a great idea. I think other OEMs are going to copy this very quickly. Pixel devices have always had what's called now playing, which is just something that kind of pops up in the background wherever you're at, whether it be a restaurant, a store, a hotel, etc. It's a convenient little feature that all Pixel users love, that kind of is a little party trick that you can use in the room, showing you what's playing at the time, then by giving you quick access to access that music. Now, with the new Pixel drop, this definitely got a huge update, more in terms of refinement and polish over what it actually does. So number 1, we do have now a dedicated app that's called Now Playing, giving you the capability of accessing that, which I think is a huge feature because there's been several times where I'm like, watch this, and then I pull up my Pixel and it happens to not be playing, and you kind of just sit there and wait for the phone to listen in until it shows you what the song is. Now you can finally skip that awkwardness and just go directly into the app and start searching immediately. Something a little bit more than what the Samsungs had in their quick access bar. So I think that's definitely a huge improvement there. Also has like your previous history of what was playing in the background. So if you do want to retrace your steps on a certain song that you had heard in the day, and you do have that capability now as well. It does have a little bit of a material UI splash to it with the floating menu on the very bottom, so a little bit of a glimpse to the future, I guess you could say. Now, improvement number 2, and this one's not really talking about very much, but the animations have definitely got a tweak, and that's kind of the one thing that I've noticed. I'd always loved Pixel for its animations, and Pixel, I don't know if they're looking at the OnePlus devices and they kind of got inspired a little bit, but now when you open and or back out of a folder, you do have a custom little animation to that, and it looks great. It feels great. It looks like the screen zooms out a bit, it darkens the background, and it positions your eyes on the folders with a nice little animation where all of the apps kind of scroll out. Little touch, but always welcome. A little bit of polish here and there, as well as the Google bar. When you swipe out of the Google bar, it's just much more smoother, and considering that you can't get rid of it, it's definitely something that they definitely needed to do. But just minor little UI tweaks in the animation department, which I will always love, especially with the Material U on top of that. It's just a nice bubbly pixely experience. And lastly, and I think this one's going to be very slept on because not many people use desktop mode, as someone who is an active NextDock user who plugs my Pixel into the NextDock for desktop mode nearly every day, this has been a huge welcome and something that I was very excited to hear. You can now access desktop mode without having to turn on your phone, which one kind of, at least in my aspect, helps out with battery, but kind of helps out with my mentalness, because you know, when people are walking by, they can kind of see your phone the whole time and it's unlocked and it's just saying come look through my stuff. So that's a huge upgrade. Your phone does not need to be turned on anymore, which does just overall also help out with the battery because the screen's not on. At least for someone who knows how old school OLEDs worked, I always get worried about burning, and there's been times where this phone has just been on this screen at a high brightness for over an hour, and I'm just like kind of getting like burn-in PTSD, but luckily you do not have to worry about that with the new update, so that's a huge welcome for me personally. Always happy to see that. And then lastly, this is more of a Pixel Watch update, but more of a Pixel ecosystem update in general, where if you do walk away from your phone will auto lock. Just a cool little feature that kind of complements if you have a Pixel Watch with a Pixel phone. Also, this is something I did not know, but tab gestures. I have the Pixel Watch 4, so I thought that was a normal update, but to anyone who have a Pixel Watch 3 and beyond, you now have tab gestures, so congratulations. I did not know that was not a normal thing. And just for reference, tab gestures work amazing on the Pixel Watches. They really tuned it well. A lot of little tab animations on things that so you kind of get adjusted to it real quick. My favorite, in case you guys are interested, is the alarm. Kind of do this to snooze your alarms. Can sometimes be a very bad habit, but is very convenient. Also timers, phone calls. It's very well thought out on the Pixel Watch compared to like the Samsung one. The Samsung one just does very simple things, but very good update for the older Pixel Watches as well, so definitely look out for that in case you guys do have an older Pixel Watch. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little recap on the Pixel drop and the top 5 things that I think you guys would genuinely notice on your day-to-day usage. Let me know what you're most excited for. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you did find this video informative and or enjoyable, make sure to drop a like. It helps out the channel. But until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.